Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in the state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent, it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives. Wealth is grabbed into the greedy, grubby hands of those who get fat on the toil and labor of good people. Corruption benefits, only temporarily, those who participate in it. Everyone else is a victim of the theft, the deceit, the dishonesty, and the lies that corruption feeds on. You need to know that a corrupt person is stealing from you. Corruption is filthy work and despicable acts of treachery done under the table and behind closed doors. Corruption is a disgusting shame. Corruption keeps a nation back from true development and from progress. Wise investors steer clear of a corrupt environment. They would rather put their resources into a place where the playing field of opportunity is equal for all and not bent towards feeding the financial lust of corrupt, lying, cheating, thieving politicians and government officials. How many wonderful development projects have been lost because the investors didn't want to do business in a swamp of evil? When those great projects go to another nation or to some other place, we all lose. Believe me when I tell you that corruption steals from you, it steals from all of us. Corruption plunders the nation's wealth. Corrupt people compromise on truth, equity, and fairness, choosing instead to feed off the short-term benefits of crookedness, exploitation, and financial perversion. Corruption is not just a personal matter, it's a culture. It's a way of life, not just for individual people, but for companies, communities, governments, and nations. Corrupt nations, hiding behind large companies, will seek to invest in other weak nations in order to take over the assets of the nation that they've invested into. They will provide financial loans to a nation for the much-needed infrastructure, and they will do it with assets that they provide. They will sign contracts by lining the pockets of rotten government officials who participate in this kind of corruption and are then held hostage by their own deceit and greed. Corruption is nothing less than a form of theft and national robbery. A corrupt person steals from everyone in society.
Run, keep going on, less process. For children of Israel who really love rights. So just say and I as a watchman around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel. I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Hey, oh, we gotta bust down Babylon walls. Prepare the way. Prepare the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down, war cry. Fight down. Me say Rastafari. War and cry. And do the righteousness. Hey, we love. And we love Jaja.
Jah
And we love Jaja.
Rastafari, save all people.
And we love Jaja. We love Jaja.
Jah
We love
Rastafari,
Jaja.
Jah Rastafari, preserve all people.
Put time away. Put time away again. Listen.
Yeah!
Just as I and I say, watch a man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel. I should never hold thy peace while we penalize. Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare the way. Prepare the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and
Fight down war and fight.
Rastafari, war and crime, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah, and we love Jah,
Jah Rastafari, preserve all.
and we love Jah, me love Jah,
Jah
me love Jah,
Jah Rastafari, preserve all.
me love Jah,
Jah Rastafari,
Jah Rastafari, Jah.
Rastafari.
Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight, and then DJ Twink.
We have heard the accusation from the abused, and we have also seen evidence from the so-called abuser. But though, for the lucid dreams of Julian Chang, there would not be a brief and baggy war riling in the People's National Party this morning. We're also going to go to clips from Parliament yesterday as well. But good morning, everyone, and welcome. Thank you all for joining us, to my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls. Good morning and welcome, one and all. Thank you all for joining us. We weren't out here yesterday morning because we had our bits and pieces of admin to do. We are on TikTok this morning on Universal TV. Welcome, one and all. Welcome. Like and share the live for us, please. Max Romeo, morning, and welcome. Debbie Jarvis TV, good morning. Winnie, good morning. Lynette Jenkins, Colleen, good morning. Pamela Akola, Miss Jam Upton, good morning. Pamela Akola, Laverne, Evan Bradford, Barbara Simpson, Joan Genius, Lawrence Michaels. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. So we're going to start with the brief and baggy war. Brief and baggy war in the People's National Party. But some of you may see what is unfolding. Julian Chang says she's been sexually harassed by her comrade Dwayne Vaz. She also gave an interview over Lady Mull. And, Cliff contact Dwayne say, I have nothing to say. Then Dwayne Vaz put out some information that really lead me to be asking some questions this morning to Miss Julia Chang. I've got dreams to remember. Dreaming about you, it started from the car park. What is it? Tongue and back. Whoa, Max Romeo, even this morning, No, I call it brief and baggy war. I don't call it tongue and baggy. I call it brief and baggy war. But I have questions for Julia Chang this morning. Julian, or we just call her Juju for this morning. And I'm going to go back to last year, way back to last year, possible October of last year. You remember that war between a lot of the JLP vloggers from the end of 2024, leading closely up until the general election campaign was ready to start. Now, this war between the JLP vloggers started with Julian Chang being a part of it. Now, you know, she was a PNP she's a PNP counselor, then working with alongside a JLP MP, which we all know is George Stool. Now, there was a campaign of the Westmoreland JLP lot, both online and at home, against Dwayne Vaz, as well at the time against the JLP Moreland Wilson. Now, there's a vlogger that's called, he operates the channel Infomedia. Is a JLP vlogger, Infomedia. Sort of more collective than most of them that we have listened to. Sort of more collective than most of them. He had a friendly communication with Julian Chang. So during the whole vlogging scenario, the JLPs used to beat Julian Chang a lot. So Julian Chang asks Info to ask people like the one that they call Dujan World and others to ease up a bit of Julian Chang. Now, that was what sparked the war between all of them, because Julian Chang did bought Infomedia one bottle of alcohol. Forgot what your name, either whiskey or Jack Daniel. One of them anyway. And then that get out in the war, his own JLP clique, Infomedia's own JLP clique, create a scenario on him that he is taking money from PNP NP to ask vloggers to calm down of Julian Chang. So go to that for to understand how she was embedded into that whole political tribalry between the JLP and PNP we are going in a Westmoreland. Setting the stage with that explanation, Julian Chang, now that Dwayne Vaz has won the seat, some of the information I believe put out by Dwayne Vaz was from is the communication, if I'm right, that took place last year around about February time between Julian Chang and Dwayne Vaz, or however it looked. But Dwayne Vaz has published the communication. Now, this communication, we would hope that Julian Chang can put out counter information to what Dwayne Vaz has put out. Because when the accusation came, some of us believe it. Some people start to go to Dwayne Vaz, quote unquote, rumhead galangin and all of that. Because he's been targeted since he won the seat. He's been targeted. However, I want to ask Julian Chang some questions. Was this a planned setup in case Dwayne Vaz won the seat that you were going to use to topple Dwayne Vaz? Is it that you were paid, Julian Chang? Cousin Myrna, oh, you do. Is it that you were paid by JLP vloggers on possible George Wright and others from the JLP to have secure this scandal, this what now turned out to be scandal against Dwayne Vaz? Was this a pre-prepared plan to take down Dwayne Vaz in case he won the seat? And if so, Julian, was it that you benefited from working with George Wright as opposed to working with your colleague now, given how we know constituency development fund is being swindled between MPs and councillors? So Julian Chang have a lot of questions to answer. Yes, I know the PNP women people them onto it now. But if Julian Chang claim that Dwayne Vaz is sexually harassing her, Julian Chang barring her nationwide scandal on her JLP Alliance scandal have not made any report anywhere. She did not report it. She did not report it to the PNP General Secretary, the PNP Women Organization. She went for an interview. She started a stamp and she went for an interview. Now, as a local government representative, the People's National Party have an internal system, Julian Chan. The People's National Party have an internal system which during those harassment, Julian Chang made no report, neither to the women's organization or to the general secretary or anybody at all until she was ready to go public. But then Dwayne Vaz put out the communication between herself and Julian Chang. And we then realized that Julian Chang is having lucid dreams about Dwayne Vaz. Julian Chang is also hoping that Dwayne Vaz could have those lucid dreams about her. Top of the screen. Those lucid dreams that she is having about Dwayne Vaz. I remember it from us being at the hotel bar having a drink. Not sure if we went there together. Was raining too. You know how Jamaican people body feels in the rain. The next thing I knew, we were in the room effing the life out of each other, says Julian Chang. You couldn't make up such a scandal. Julian Chang must now respond with counter allegation or withdraw such allegation against Whoa! Nasa Julian Chang. Now go on with yourself in your dream. What if you were in the winter dreaming, Julian? Or in the winter you did their dream? You don't know. But Julian Chang's lucid dreams, she must now withdraw her allegation of sexual harassment. Let me readjust the thing, or let me hold on. I'm gonna bring them in a studio. I'm gonna bring them in the studio. But Julian Chang, why am I keep getting this? This is why I mean like come over TikTok, Them say me fi keep engaging with the platform. Look here, me not come over here for beg TikTok. I'm a broadcaster. I'm not a TikToker. I'm a broadcaster. I'm not the one who's going to say, top and 10, beg it then. No, that's not what I'm here for TikTok. I'm here to talk. Are you not hearing me? Can the robots on TikTok not hearing that I am speaking? Or you don't understand that? I'm not going to behave like the hooligans that you want me to behave like TikTok. Okay. All right. So, just so you know, TikTok. Just so you know. Alrighty. Let me bear with me, globalists. May I address my broadcast slide? I want to put these communiques individually because Julian Chang, this is how I don't understand. There is something that I'm not understanding with communication on these modern day people. Because if it is, Miss Chang, that you are having these lucid dreams, and you, Miss Chang, communicate these lucid dreams to the MP, I mean, in a hold your receipt era, Miss Chang, don't you think it was foolish of you to have gone in public with such flatter, knowing full well, or maybe as Dwayne Vaz asks, were you drunk? That there will be receipt to counter your allegation. I don't understand these modern day people when they are drunk and horny. I mean, moral decency, public moral for them literally flew out the window. Let me remove this and bring the updated one back into the studio. Bear with me. I don't understand these people. We keep telling, I don't know if you understand when I say to you all, politicians mentally, they exist in the RGR and JBC era where their media friends can kill a story. Their media friends can kill a story. They keep forgetting that these days are over. They are not paying attention to social media to see why is the wrong thing coming in, to see the new hold your receipt era that we exist in. Because if you don't hold your receipt, then social media can be a walk in the park for your reputation on issues like these. So me not understand how Julian can come out with such a bangarang. Let me try and help you with what the communication is. Good morning. You know me dream about you last night? That's from Julian. Really, I hope it was good. What you dream, laugh out loud. All those are from Dwayne Vaz. Was good, yes, Julian Chan. Nah, tell you. You know those little flirty conversation, and then Dwayne Vaz, dead with laugh. Julian Chan, laugh out loud. Julian Chan, when you're coming back, so I assume Dwayne Vaz was out of the country then. Will you be there for the hospital tour Monday? Dwayne Vaz, trying. There's no storm here. Then the next one. So you see pictures of the snowstorm outside my house. Oh, it was Julian Darfarin. Yeah. No, Dwayne Vaz did Darfarin. So Julian said, nice. You should have bring me. Hmm? And Dwayne Vaz said, no, I'm stuck. Then move on to the fruity bit. The fruity bit. Oh, about to sleep, had a glass of wine. Julian Chan. Okay, sleep well. Hope you have a dream like mine. Dwayne Vaz. Tell me the dream. Let me see if I can dream it. Hmm? Let me see if I can dream it, said Dwayne Vaz. Julian Chang. Laugh out loud. Well, yeah. I remember it from us being at a hotel bar having a drink. Not sure if we went there together. Was raining too. Hmm? The next thing I know, I'm going to be explicit this morning as if we're in court. The next thing I know, we were in the room fucking the life out of each other. Doing Vaz. Just Christ. You did jump? Julian. Laugh out loud. No. Hey, just checking if you get to travel. Julian Chang must respond to these. Julian Chang must also tell us if this was pre-planted and planted by the JLP, was she paid by the JLP to take down Dwayne Vaz should he win the seat? Why is it, Julian Chang, that you have not reported this to the PNP General Secretary, to the People's National Party's women's organization? Are you planning to jump ship, Julian Chang? Or is it, Julian Chang, that there were pickings, Miss Chang, while working with the JLP council that you may not be able to pick with the People's National Party council, Julian Chang? What is going on? I hope Nationwide will be issuing an apology to Dwayne Vaz today, because Nationwide seemed to did not ask Julian Chang, do you, Miss Chang, have evidence to support your allegation against Mr. Vaz? But this is how Lady Mulvina Bachelet and our whores over Nationwide behave. They just try to demonize. Me not out here defend Dwayne Vaz, you know. Can't know me rustle up PNP when me want to. But what Julian Chang did is bullshit. And this is hurt feelings. Julian Chang is being paid to carry out JLP hurt feelings about the seat that they've lost. That is what is going on. Remember, these are the same vloggers that did say they would go to Jamaica to raise arm against the state if Mark Golding won the election. Didn't you remember? These are the same people that is spreading these same propaganda that now Julian Chang turned out to be a big bunch of cockafart on this matter. Julian Chang must now withdraw her allegation. She must be held accountable for, by the PNP, because if it is that Dwayne Vaz was held, if it was proven that Dwayne Vaz was sexually harassing her, we would be calling for Dwayne Vaz's head this morning. We would be calling on Mark Golden this morning for the removal of Dwayne Vaz. Julian Chang, how much did they pay you? How much did they pay you? This was a lucid G. Is Julian Chang drunk? Is Julian Chang psychotic? Do you think Mr. Vaz harassed you in your dream, Miss Chang? Julian Chang, were you harassed in those lucid dreams? Or are you speaking of a matter of reality? And if it is, Miss Chang, a matter of reality, can you substantiate your allegations? Brief and baggy war in the People's National Party. So we're looking at the people, the women's organization in the People's National Party who is now dealing with this issue to deal with it robustly and come to a resolve. And whatever the disciplinary may be, it may be nationwide or to be sued by Dwayne Vaz. Nationwide ought to be sued. The vloggers over nationwide ought to be sued by Darren Vaz, because these are the same people that come out every day and cry, Holy Bloody Mary, we are the sanctified and sanctimonious of broadcasting. We get it right. We check our sources. Have you done that this time, Big Hole, Cliff Hughes? Cliff Hughes, have you checked that the information, the allegation you were advancing, that Julian Chang have supporting information to support her allegation, but you run the story because it was a story that would demonize the People's National Party. That was the only reason why Lady Bachelet run such a story, without even checking out if the story has any merit to it. If it is that Julian is thinking that my dream was real, if it is that Julian wake up from the dream and said, he didn't F the fuck out of me, I was just dreaming, don't you feel bad of yourself, Miss Chan? We're living in a receipt world. If we not come tell lie upon people, tell lie. But don't come and come cry wolf to get women support, to get the world support, say, another woman has been abused by a sexual predator, a political sexual predator. But it turned out not to be so, Julian Chang, is it not? It turned out not to be so. It turned out that you are the one who's been coming on to Dwayne Vaz. You are the one who's seeing Dwayne Vaz in your dream at night. You are the one who are asking Dwayne Vaz to have lucid dreams about you. Imagine how wet you go to bed, Julian Chan. Because to dream about Dwayne Vaz, you have to go to bed. Anyway, a big people saying thing this. This is a big people saying thing. We're like a picking around here. Don't? Opa. Bangarang this morning. We're like a picking around here, Julian Chan. So, you know when big people business attack, we are listening, but we play like we not hear where we're going. Yeah. But Julian Chang must come out, withdraw her allegation, apologize, and if need be, pay Dwayne Vaz legal fee. Nationwide, though, must be sued. The vloggers over nationwide must be sued because it was an agenda why Tiff Hughes, the lady over there, run the program, run the allegation without double checking the narrative. See if there is supporting evidence Cliff Hughes to protect me from a defamation lawsuit. But these are the same monsters will come out here every day and demonize we. Oh, these vloggers. Oh, these social media. Are we not doing the same thing, you idiot? Hmm? Are we not doing the same thing? But a person like me, why you think Floyd Green can't open his mouth? Floyd Green, tell Cliff how the thing go. Hmm? We live in a receipt world. You see the embarrassment that Floyd Green and his so-called quasi lawyer got live on here last week, Friday night. I mean, these politicians are not waking up. We live in a receipt era. You cannot ball wolf if you cannot even point on a paper tiger. If you're going to cry wolf, Julian Chang, point to us. See, there's a paper tiger over there. You idiot. But what it is, you all want a by-election. You all want to push out Dwayne Vaz to buy back the space for George Wright. Because your hands, Julian Chang, would have been in the cookie jar with George Wright. I wonder if you had lucid dreams about George Wright or Moreland Wilson. Have you? You say you never know Sir Dwayne Vaz married. How we know? How we know Sir Dwayne Vaz married Julian Chang and you never know? And does it matter if he's not married or not? Why you're dreaming over him? Is Julian anybody? What did I miss? Only the brief and baggy war have been a while. You missed the old brief and baggy war. What we are talking about with Julian Chang and Dwayne Vaz, because Julian Chang come out and made an allegation that she's been harassed by Dwayne Vaz. But in the start of the program, I explained the backstory of a war between JLP vloggers and so on, that Julian Chang was embedded in the middle of it. You remember that war with JLP vloggers from late 2024 all the way into summer of 2025? That was the war that Julian Chang was embedded in, where Julian Chang asked Infomedia to ask the JLP vlogger them to ease up after her. And then when them find out, say, Julian Chang buy Infomedia a drink, then the rest of JLP them now turn on Infomedia and say the PNP them buy more to take money from PNP to take money from PNP to ask them to calm down Panar. So the war went on and on and on over the two. Julian Chang now, the labor right them, in my view now that this lie is being exposed, would have paid Julian Chang to set up Dwayne Vaz to now paint this veteran, how you do, nah man, to paint this sexual allegation against him. And then she ran to Nationwide and she did the interview, and then the JLP vloggers, they were blasting Dwayne yesterday and the day before all day about this sexual harassment and all of that. She went to Nationwide and she spewed and them fixed the narrative. Dwayne Vaz now released the communication between her and Julian Chang. Julian Chang, it turned out, the one is having the lucid dreams about Dwayne Vaz. But the damning paragraph is this one on screen here, where Dwayne Vaz asks her, after she told him, I dreamt about you, but flirt around and dilly-dally of not saying what the dream was. Then she, in turn, asks Dwayne Vaz, I hope you dream the same thing about me too. Hmm? So Dwayne Vaz asks her, tell me the dream. So I say, if I can dream something like that. And she then went on. I remember us being at a hotel bar, having a drink. Not sure if we went there together. Was raining too. The next thing I knew, we were banging the life, the explicit term from her though. We were banging the life out of each other. But for the lucid dreams of Julian Chang, we would have never been in this brief and baggy war this morning. So Miss Chang must withdraw her allegation. She must apologize. The People's National Party Women's Organization, who is dealing with the issue at the moment, must deal with it with quick resolve. Dwayne Vaz must also sue Nationwide. In that broadcast, Nationwide was under a duty to secure evidence from Ms. Chang as to the allegation advanced. Because of his political agenda and his political bias, he did not such. How are we different, Cliff Hughes? Lady Malvina Bachelet. Big old long time lady cross the road. Lady with the punpan and the grater and the can and the asham and the malta. Lady cross the road. And you have the nerve to criticize people like we, Cliff Hughes. Lady cross the road. You have the nerve to criticize us. A long time you're telling us that Cliff Hughes is a vlogger. I've been telling Cliff Hughes for tant amount of time, drop the radio station license. You're wasting money and you're owing us too much taxes. Come on board. Come on board with vlogging, Cliff Hughes. And I hit the whole away do. Cliff Hughes, what you do different from we is launder government money. The only thing you do in a media, Cliff Hughes, different from we is launder the government money by the amount of contract you get from Andrew Holness, by the amount of tax you owe with Cliff Hughes. You understand? But Dwayne Vaz must draw you through the court because you have no defense against this. Dwayne Vaz put out the truth. What is Cliff Hughes and Julian Chang and the labor right them were run up and down with Dwayne Vaz name from yesterday? From Dwayne Vaz publishing information, they've gone quiet. And they were nastying up the man's character over social media. We're going to go over to Parliament now. Everard Warmington, a true backbencher and a true politician. Whatever you want to say about Everard Warmington, whatever the difference you may have with Everard Warmington, he is a different kettle of fish from the other bunch of loonified bastards in the Jamaica Labour Party. Because what they're all willing to see is the destruction of the system of governance in our parliament rather than
look at or not.
rather than stand up for what is true and honest, they decide to be silent to the destruction of our parliament. And Everett Warmington is the only one who is standing in the gap at the moment. He is even more robust than those of the People's National Party when it comes to holding his party account when it comes to the rules of our parliament. I'm trying to get a longer clip of this in studio. Bear with me. But what Everett Warmington is doing at the moment is the classic work of a government backbencher. A government backbencher is under no duty to go cap in hand with the government and either policies or procedures. Policies would be the legislative framework. Procedures would be the running of our parliament. Everett Warmington will not go cap in hand with this government because Everett Warmington have had over 5 decades of experience in representation. So he knew best when the rules are not being followed, when the rules are being violated, when people look aside from the rules in order to advance their personal or political agenda, which our parliament has turned into under Juliet Holness. Under Juliet Holness, our parliament have turned into their own little business. And Everett Warmington is the only one who is holding them accountable.
As we can all appreciate, the Speaker is not in the House at this time.
Don't tell the member the Speaker didn't get a chance to look at it. That's not unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. And we should bring the House to that level to come with this nonsense. If a member submit his or her question 24 hours before, it's no business of the member whether the Speaker look at it or not. It's supposed to be with it before the sit. It can be 10 minutes before. It can be 10 minutes before. Okay? So if the Speaker says 24 hours, the member make them available to the clerk before. Okay? If the member delivered to the clerk 24 hours before, it's not member's fault. So we can't say the Speaker didn't have the time to look at them. Why the hell did you ask for the 24 hours before? It's not the member's fault. The Speaker took 24 hours. The member filled his or her obligation. So it's not our business whether or not the Speaker look at it. It's our obligation to review it before. So don't tell the member this time. Don't tell the member. Don't tell the member the Speaker didn't get a chance to look at it. That's not unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. And we should bring the House to that level to come with this nonsense about they get a chance to read it. Nonsense.
This is a government backbencher telling the government we're bringing the House into a disreputable level. But I play this to address the People's National Party this morning. And only me come for PNP. Yes, on the same one. When the cat is away, PNP, the mice will learn to play. Is it not? Sharon, how you do? When the cat is away, the mice will learn to play. We have seen the robust behavior of the PNP since Juliet Holness is being and her dangle across India, UK, and sort of like. We see how not grow up, PMP, nobody asks if we now watch. We see how not grow up and turn big man and big woman since Juliet gone. Nobody can tell you no to sit down, poor little daddy. You know, when we were growing up as children, not a lot of us fear our fathers. 'Cause our fathers weren't disciplinarians. The very look, though, from our mothers, you would drop dead, isn't it? You notice for years now, Juliet have had them calmly sat in the member, sit, take your seat, and they obey. Now, since the mother has migrated, the children has gone AWOL. AWOL. The children has gone since the mother has been migrated. Then just go on with themselves. So. Because if you were to watch Fix Jackson yesterday, Fix Jackson was the eldest son in the family. He ranted and he raved. And he took them down. They had to give him his right to speak. That, in our view, would have never happened with the mother. You know, when a mother cracked her glass and peep over it, the entire place must go silent. PMP said that for say this. They are watching. Because if when the mama come back, you no keep the same rebellion in the household. What we saw no hand out for mama gone. Judgment between we and PNP. Because you know have to explain to we what it's all about. What it's all about. Why you not afraid of Juliet, but you don't afraid of Hero Clark. No. They had a going-ons yesterday about the cybercrime. And I've been listening in and out of it, but what I can say, I think I may see, we're going to go to two clips from Jess and Mark Golden. Everybody in this whole cybercrime amendment, the amendment to the cybercrime, rather the amendment or review to the cybercrime legislation, everybody sought to be protecting themselves from reputational damages, That's what I'm kind of getting from them. Let's listen to Mark Golden and then we go to Jeff. Because it looked like they more have an interest
Speaker, I rise to make a few
in protecting themselves from reputational damage.
The broad point that I wish to make is really consistent with what has been said here by the member for St. Andrew Southeast. I must say that for me, for a bill dealing with cyber crimes to be brought to the House in 2026, which is addressing the contents of a joint select committee report written in the first half of 2023, and which does not fulsomely address the very serious issues which have arisen with the advent and pervasiveness of artificial intelligence, is a great disappointment. This bill ought to be doing that, because we are living in that age now, and the issues that it presents for our society are real. The law needs to more fulsomely protect persons' images, the image of an individual, their reputation, and the use of their appearance and their voice and other biological manifestations through manipulation to denigrate them to spread falsehoods, either about them or others, or things that they have alleged to say which are complete fabrications. These are very serious problems. And I think for the bill to come here and not address that is a disappointment. We cannot say that we are protecting our society and keeping on the cusp of technology when we are not. We support these amendments, but they're dated. They are not dealing with the most pressing problem that has arisen in the last 2-3 years. And I hope, Minister, that you will give a commitment, although I see the bill is not tabled in your name, but I hope you will give a commitment that the government will move rapidly to convene another joint select committee to update this legislation to address the pressing issues which have emerged in the last 2 or 3 years because of the advent and the growing power and influence of artificial intelligence, which jeopardizes the society while representing a tremendous opportunity as well. But there are clear and present risks and dangers that come with it that we need to protect the society from. And this bill does not do that. There are 2 other points I want to make. When the minister was giving his opening, he made reference to the fact that there are actually 2 amendments in this bill that make the same point, Clause 2 and Clause 11, which insert after the words any key or key, the words whether electronic or digital. And I asked, hoping that he would explain, what is the difference between electronic and digital, those 2 concepts here? And his response was less than accommodating and unnecessarily so. Yes.
This is to tell you how they done, you know. This is to tell you how JLP done. Them double up on themselves.
Especially coming from a minister. I mean, clearly, if he's not sure of it, if he's not sure what the difference is, there's a technical team here to provide that type of guidance. And I hope we will.
Mark Golden have a decent way of passing off insults, though. It's how the British generally behave when it comes to insult and racism. They pass it off very nice. Not saying he's British, it's an inherent behavior, but that's how they pass off insults very nicely.
Get it. I'm hoping that we will get that guidance because the question is a legitimate question. And I would like to understand the difference. Yeah. The other point that I wish to make relates to Clause 5 of the bill, which is dealing with Section 9.
Members. The members
Dr. Wheatley. Dr. Wheatley, the article. Dr. Wheatley, you've been caught out as a fool. Shut your mouth, doctor. Uno JLP with the DR title. Uno need to rub it out, you know. Rub it out and call on a name so. Because the DR title on a hinge span don't bring no benefit to you. Rub it out. Rub out the DR something.
Members.
That's a damn fool on herself. Dr. Andrew Wheatley.
The member is on his feet.
You're done.
Thank you.
You're done. Shut up.
The other issue I wanted to raise has been mentioned by the member for St. Andrew Southwest. And it relates to the defense that is set out in Clause 1C, big C, to the new offense which is inserted by Clause 9(1)(a). And It relates to the publishing of intimate images. And one speaks to defenses to that offense of publishing intimate images about somebody without their consent. And one of the defenses talks to or speaks to publishing for the purpose of reporting about historical events. Now, I want to know what that means. What are historical events for this in this context? Is a historical event something which you find in a history book? Or is a historical event something which has occurred in the past? And maybe the recent past. It may be last week. So from that perspective, given that this is a defense that will remove the protection to the individual who has had intimate images about them published, it ought to be very clear what that defense is trying to address and what it is not trying to address. And as presently formulated, it is too general, it's too abstract, and it, to my mind, could undermine the intent of the new offense, which is to protect people from violations of their privacy through the publication.
And let me say, this is not Andrew Wheatley's fault. Ministers are capital dunce. They really don't write legislation. Legislation are written by technical people, a team of crooked, swap themselves or paid for their exam lawyers within the civil service. Those are the people who draft legislation. But if it is that them a draft legislation political partisan, or if it is they're drafting legislation without being qualified and experienced in doing so, then when they're drafting legislation, they must look keenly at legislative structure of the United Kingdom, because this is where them draw them legislation from, sometimes literally copy and paste legislations. But it's nonsense of all one often come a parliament with. Why not keep getting told about chaka self, don't understand what is this from? What is wrong with the system of governance under this Andrew Holness-led government? The legislative framework is not working. The systems of parliament is not working. The executive is just there on a rant for stealing and enriching themselves. While everything, education, healthcare, agriculture, and all of that. Don't even talk about the road, because we never have road to talk about before anyway. So we would even talk about the wishful thinking when you road. Road are wishful thinking. Right now, for many of us Jamaicans, road is wishful thinking. We go on in the dirt track them and the riverbed and the gullies and the lanes and them something that we used to that. But we used to have water. We used to the mud chuck them, but we used to have water. Wait, I don't know what happened to it. Let's finish listening to Mark Golden, then we'll go to Jess' contention of the act.
Of intimate images. So, Mr. Speaker, I hope that those two issues will be addressed. And I also hope that the minister will assure the House as to when.
You see, Sharon, one of the things that might be problem over there, Andrew may have just about anyone and friend them over the civil service write legislation, because to say, I hope a lawyer in the JLP too. Whole heap of all of these departments of government has a legal department. They call it their councils. But it don't seem as if these people have experience in or knowledge in what they're doing. Or if they do, it doesn't seem that these people are being consulted. Because whether it be finance ministry, whatever ministry come to parliament to table a legislation or an amendment, they get insulted by the PNP. Last week you all were told that you're pitchy patchy and chaka chaka. And here you come again, speaking of something where digital, electronic, digital, electronic. Now you idiots. Anyway.
A joint select committee will be convened to modernize this legislation, to take into account the new age that we're living in and the risks and dangers that we are all living through on a daily basis in the absence of legislation that adequately addresses those risks and dangers. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
But Mark Golden, all in all the way I go on. Politician finger is more a problem to with an AI, you know. If you talk to most Jamaicans right now, politician finger would be a bigger problem to with an AI. The two biggest problems we have in Jamaica, Mark Golden, is politician mouth and finger. The two biggest problems we have in our country is politician mouth and finger. Kind of seem to can't keep them. We don't know dream what to do with one another. We don't thief and protect one another. Julian Chang, we got your bed either honey or got your bed with your stomach, with your craft full. Julian Chang, the dream where you get Julian Chang, a honey people dream then you have to go on your bed. Anyway, them they are big people argument. Make me come out for the big people sitting and go on paranormal people going in.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to make my contribution in respect of the cybercrimes bill. Like most members of the House, I do generally support the amendments being brought before the House in a general sense. However, as indicated, there are concerns, Mr. Speaker, as it relates to the artificial intelligence component. And I rise because, as the minister would have indicated, quite a...
Sharon, it's true. But when we look at the mindset of people in Jamaica and them political chivalry, do the people really want better? And if the people presented themselves of not wanting better, do you really think politician is going to go out of their way to give them better? No, sir. We don't want nothing.
A number of times during his statement, quite a few references were made to AI, but when I had sight of the proposed amendment to Section 9, which is the offense-creating section of the Act, I noted, Mr. Speaker, that there was actually not sufficient ground in this section to mount a prosecution for persons who would have utilized AI to one.
And let me say to Jamaican vloggers in particular, you would want to take note of this act, the changes to it, in particular in Section 9, and the defenses that the act prepares. So this is an act that all vloggers must pay close attention to. You must understand what it presently does now, and you must understand the immediate changes to the law. Now, why this is important? You remember the other day, Marlene Malahoo Fort called for criminal libels, criminal defamation. which is something we took off the books already. Now, in not having the criminal liable, Section 9, the malicious communication clause, you must pay attention to that. That is the clause they would use in criminal law if they cannot get you for defamation. They can conjure you up under Section 9 in the criminal law. You see that Vlogger 119 is under that entertainer. Was it Capri or something? Capich? Well, I remember, I can't pronounce his name. But it is important for those of us who are a part of the information warfare with the government. We must understand the implications of the Cybercrime Act, particularly Section 9 of the Cybercrime Act.
Forged documents, and that is very important, considering where we are today in our society. And two, even as it relates to the creation of intimate images, which is specified here in Section 5, regrettably, I fear, Mr. Speaker, that the section does not sufficiently address the use of deep fakes, which is really getting to be so rampant in today's society. And so I wonder, without there being the need for too much delay, whether the minister might be minded to have the relevant team redraft this particular section so as to make it possible to mount a successful prosecution, for to address the use of AI to forge documents as well as to manipulate video. Let me be clear, as a practitioner in the legal system, when I look at this section, I can see where a defendant can very easily say, having used AI to create a deep fake image of an individual, of a real person, can realistically say before a court of law, but this is not an intimate image of any individual, because this is not a real person. And so it is a real risk that we all face. It is a real risk that we all face in this house. And so I do not rise to be partisan. I rise to see how best we can have a meeting of the minds so as to protect the Jamaican public in this respect. And secondly, I note at 1C, subsection 1C, that it is a defense in any proceedings for the commission of an offense under the very same subsection that I referred to just now, for the defendant to show that the image was published only to the individual depicted in the image. And this causes great concern for me, Mr. Speaker. It raises great concern because I wonder, is there a reason why there should be a defense simply because the image was disseminated only to the person, the affected person? Why should it be a defense in circumstances where one of the most critical developments that we've seen now are instances where persons suffer such mental distress, mental anguish after having seen their images plastered, or perhaps even not shared, but simply sent to them? It causes such anxiety. Why should it be a defense simply because the image was simply shared to the person in question, to the victim? Why is there need for there to be a defense in this respect? This is a matter that a judge can properly bear into consideration in determining matters to do with sentencing. It's a mitigating factor, if you will, at the very highest. But I really am unclear, Minister, as to why it is included as a defense. And if it is a defense, is it an absolute defense or is it a qualified defense?
I would argue just a qualified defense, and I tell you why. Because similarly to defamation, a person wouldn't be able to, if you have say a nude picture of someone, which is a real photograph, and you have sent that photograph to them with the threat to publish. In defamation, they wouldn't have a defamation case if they just sent that photograph to you because it's not been published to anybody else. So it couldn't have damaged your reputation if it's not been seen by anybody else. Now, similarly in this act, where Jess is saying there ought not to be a defense if the person send it to the claimant only. I would agree with that defense as well, because it wouldn't have been malicious communication as per public, because it's not been put out to the public. It would only have been sent to the person with a threat. Now, if that come down to stalking or something else, maybe, but I could see where that defense makes sense there. But all in all, I do not agree with the whole AI thing. So, yes, it's not that I don't agree there shouldn't be legislation to protect the public. But in my view, based on the argument, politicians are more protecting themselves from us under this legislation more than it is to protect the Jamaican populace. That's just my thoughts on that.
This section does not make it clear. And so my question to you, Mr. Speaker, is there a reason for the inclusion of this particular section, which provides that if an offender simply publishes the image to the victim, then that's a defense? Why is it a defense? Why is it a defense when mental anguish can be caused by publication to just the victim? Why is it a defense? And finally, in an age, Mr. Speaker, where we understand that one of the most difficult challenges faced with cybercrime legislation.
Exactly, the easy jerk. That's another issue, again, where the claimant could publish that photograph blaming the other person to create an offense. So of course, I do agree with that defense for that clause because it does make sense.
Is that to deal with enforcement. Enforcement in the sense that many cyber crimes are actually committed by persons residing in other jurisdictions. And so against that background, there is a need for strong international collaboration. I therefore rise to ask in tandem with the learned members, is there a reason, is there a policy reason why we have not acceded to the Budapest Convention, which would actually allow for extradition of persons in other jurisdictions that commit cybercrimes offense, as long as you are a member or a party state to that convention? And so those, in short, Mr. Speaker, represent my contribution.
So no sister just a come after we are foreign, yeah, so no notice. What just is asking is for Jamaica to sign up to the Budapest Convention so Jamaica can ask for us in foreign who they want to go after to be extradited. What a laha. Hey, we're prepared for now. May have every line of defense prepared for now. Run come sign the Budapest Convention. It is a war against us. They are trying as if they want to protect the Jamaica public. This is no protection for us. What government is doing, government is creating its tool of coming after us far and wide. That's what me I get from it in the long and short. But Ramesh get him reward. There was something in Parliament yesterday. I'm not quite clued up with it yet because I was listening in and out. But there's something in, I think, in relation to the rebuilding and the entertainment industry. But Ramesh has been given something to do. Don't you think it's a payback? And if it's a payback, what happened to the others? Cronyism, we call it. And we also want to ask the Prime Minister, given that you are away out of the country, you are the Prime Minister, the Minister of Defense, the acting Minister for National Security, the Minister for Economic Growth and Infrastructure Development. Who is in charge of the government at the moment? The Deputy Prime Minister is under house arrest by the Americans. So me I walk and talk. You come cyber after me. Come cyber me. Oris Chang is under house arrest by Donald Trump. Them same sick. Their story, our story. Andrew Holness, the Prime Minister, Minister of Defense, has also assumed the policy head of the National Security Office. Our country, who's making the decision in our country now? Now that Andrew Holness is off the island, who is in charge? Let me look on the Prime Minister page if he put out nobody left in charge. Coming up on the idiot page since morning. But who is in charge? Last time the Prime Minister did the penny rigmarole, the whole accident didn't charge Babsy Grange. Today, information is everywhere, but many people still don't fully understand how government works and why certain problems exist. I'm reading what Andrew Holness said about 50 minutes ago. The government focused first on growing the economy and creating jobs. As a result, unemployment is now about 3%, the lowest it has ever been. More Jamaicans are working than ever before. I mean, if they have the time to dream as lucid as Julian Chang, Prime Minister, that's a job. You have to. When you read what Julian Chang dreamt, that's a work in itself. Now our focus is on fixing the building infrastructure like roads, drains, because these are fundamental to our growth. Many of our roads and towns were built decades ago. Another excuse for fewer people, fewer cars, and higher rainfalls. Today we have more vehicles, heavier rain due to climate change. You know, they have to get that climate change in the midst of it. And unplanned building and blocks drains caused by flooding. No, the block drains were not caused by flooding, Prime Minister. The block drains, Prime Minister, are caused by lack of cleaning and maintenance. And that caused block drain. He sent out a message and Elsa Babsy is in charge. Kupa and Babsy too. I wonder if she got jar down Bill Gates panel again because Bill Clinton panel, because you remember the last time Andrew was away, Babsy Grange jar down Bill Clinton panel. That's why fixing infrastructure is not simple, but We are doing the work while continuing to grow the economy. So Jamaica keeps moving forward. Andrew Siso, no, my son, no come blame me for Andrew Bagarism. Don't come blame me. When I hear Andrew say the same thing, them. But, hold on there. Prime Minister reaffirms strengthening the national security architecture. And the Prime Minister have Chang in the picture with him. I want to look like a hospital and go dress up Chang's the Prime Minister. No. But we don't see what we can strengthen other than killing people, children, by summary execution. If that is what strengthening for no crime fighting, God help crime fighting in our country. So the relief money him I go use. Now I've been asking the Prime Minister because the Prime Minister has been going on about building resilience across the country. Now, all of these donations, loans, money collected for concert, the $6.7 billion water loan, the over $200 million in insurance money. These money are to rebuild Western Jamaica, not the entire Jamaica. It wasn't the entire Jamaica that was ravished by Melissa. So the grand old infrastructure resilience, but the Prime Minister talk about for Kingston and them place the outer Western Jamaica money. Western Jamaica get licked down. A Western Jamaica people and environment on the walk and beg on behalf of. And everybody, all of Jamaica licked down. So the building resilience that the Prime Minister keeps speaking about across Jamaica, out of which money and out of which budget, Prime Minister? Because it cannot be, it cannot be that with money will come and will borrow for we picnic them payback. You are going to use it to build resilient infrastructure across Jamaica, while the damaged infrastructure across Western Jamaica is just left thrown down like that. Andrew Holness have a lot of questions to answer. The fact is, Jamaica people, one, are not questioning him through their MPs. These bootlickers, butt scratchers, pocket pickers of a journalist, they call themselves, once we knew they were, as to what they've turned out to be now is a matter for a public debate in our country, or in this world, rather. How is the journalist jaw chair under politician quarter and just comfortable so? Nobody now, Andrew have a whole heap of questions for answer about with money. Andrew Holness have a lot of questions for answer about the rebuilding. Andrew have a lot of questions for answer about the new third city, the new South Coast tourism development. All these things deserve consultation with the people of especially St. Elizabeth, where you're coming with this mass development, where you're coming to remove Black River Town inland. What are you going to do with our coastline that Black River was built on? We need answers to these questions. Minister of Fish and Shit, Floyd Green. Minister of Fish and Shit, Floyd Green. You ought to have a consultation with the people of Southwest St. Elizabeth. Because the people of Southwest St. Elizabeth is slap bam on this coastline when I go do no tourism development. The town of Black River, all the way down to Brompton and Hodges, fall under your Southwest St. Elizabeth bucket. Mr. Green. At what point will Floyd Green have a consultation with Southwest St. Elizabeth on the restructuring of Southwest St. Elizabeth and Black River? It's our city. When you can't come there, go on, like I say, it's Funo City, and it's for you all to do what you want with it. Have a consultation with the people. Inform the people. But then again, the PMP, them quiet, and the whole of them is, hey, can't bother, yeah. Can't bother. Because we want to beat up with mouth. And so the PNP, them ask Andrew Holness to make sure sign up with foreign. So when they shut down the Jamaica vlogger, them and we open with mouth, they can have to kill my blood clot around here. Make me tell on this morning. Sharpen up on a machete and aisle on a gun. Can you go kill me? That me tell you no. Uno get wasara, uno get thiefer, and uno get liar, and we forget silencer. Uno go kill me round here. So no just sharpen up whatever uno have and aisle down whatever uno have. If uno think to say the threat of prison or the fear of death is going to silence an idiot like me. If you think Donald Trump was a fool, I'm double the fool as Donald Trump. So no common thing to say, no look at fenke la or no look at fenke threats is going to allow Uno to continue to thief with impunity, and we can't call on a thief. Uno continue to use Uno power to sexually abuse people, even for like a job and like a handout, and we don't talk a lie. Uno tell. Lie no tell. You know go so. Uno can't shut down. People were afraid for dead, or people were afraid for go to prison. This world has come to its mashing up point. So it no matter if you're dead and gone in your grave, it no matter if you're in prison or work on government and taxpayer feed you, or it no matter if you out here a work and a feed government and taxpayer and prisoners. Everywhere we did, Makajuk we. Everywhere we did, Makajuk we. So me now make them use anything. Hope for a better future. Hope for heaven. Better no. Because now you know commit the crime them. Every year politicians get thiefer. Look on the Integrity Commission report how you have the whole place up on its heads this year. You know what's than last year? You know what's all thief whenever things say then they go get catch like Floyd Green. Get catch. So you can go on and think we're fool and think only look at threats of the law is going to silence us when Uno commit crimes against us with impunity. The same war what Uno declare upon we can declare upon Uno too. Or we can join in it with Uno. War, Prime Minister. Things happen on the battlefield. It's just like that. I mean, when you go in a people picking it, when you go in a people house, go shoot down people picking it. So if we did on the battlefield, we did justifiable. Wouldn't you think so, Prime Minister? Me prefer dead on the battlefield than dead in my house where me think that me should have been safe. And at the same government, I go come in there, can't turn him gun palm me. Turn your gun palm me on the battlefield, government. It's more justiciable. All right? So, I go on about our business this morning. But PNP me they are 34 now. PNP me they are 34 now because when Juliet Holness come back on a lap on a skirt it will be a hullabaloo out here with one. Because we see say Van Juliet oldness migrated, grow up, turn big man and big woman. Turn big man and big woman in a parliament. Eli Clark can't control you anymore. So me I go see if when Juliet oldness come back, not carry on the same fuckery in the house, and then PNP, will here with me and out here. Anyway, it's a man your own business, but sometimes it better when you left your business for people, man. Because sometimes you don't see the part of your business what them see. But gone. Thank you all for being here this morning on Global TV. Lovely to have your support. As always, have you hit the like button yet? Or are you one of them stocked up one who say, I just want to watch, but I don't want to hit the like button? Thank you for being here with us this morning. Join us back this evening for the people's point of view. Good morning and good afternoon from Global TV.
Too long in our little ghetto, run keep going on, less process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So just as I and I as a watching man, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Day or night, we gotta bust down Babylon walls. Prepare the way, prepare the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down war and crime, fight down war and crime. Me say Rastafari, war and crime, and do the righteousness. And we love, and we love Jaja. And we love Jaja. And we love Jaja. We love Jaja. We love Jaja. Rastafari, preserve all people. Put time away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I and I as a watching man, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace while we penalize. Day or night, we gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare the way, prepare the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and crime, fight down war and crime. Rastafari, war and crime, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah, and we love Jah, Rastafari, preserve all. And we love Jah, me love Jaja, me love Jaja, Rastafari, preserve all. Me love Jaja, Rastafari. Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight. And then
if you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.